Hello everyone and welcome back to another album review. And in this video I'm going to review Neyslutrans by Hatari. Yes, this is an album that I was highly anticipating. This is the debut full-length album from an Icelandic trio, making a huge name for themselves, especially as an Aggrotech band. But when it comes to Aggrotech music, pure Aggrotech, Neyslutrans goes more into the softer side of things, fusing elements of Futurepop as well, with both clean vocals and screams, and a production that is really clear, it is really crisp, really good, and it's done in a way that has a sort of aggression but also uses some Futurepop and electroclash elements that you might could find in one of the first projects out of Fisher Spooner, but into a more aggressive fashion in this case. So this album, instrumentally wise, doesn't sound a lot like Hoshiko or Suicide Commando that go into a more pure Aggrotech sound. The only thing that mostly reminds that is some of the screams, which are amazing on this album. But the main reason why this album is so important and it's so much talked about, it's mainly because, especially if you live in Europe, you've probably have heard the name Hatari before. And this is because of their sensational industrial banger Hatrið Sigra. This track managed to be in the finals of Eurovision last year. And now look, I'm a guy who, when I was a little kid, I used to watch television and I was aware of Eurovision. I would see the event when it would happen, but now I'm not into Eurovision. I do not see what's coming out. I don't really care about Eurovision. And so I was unaware of this track at first glance. But when I stumbled upon this, I was extremely surprised. How did this track manage to be in Eurovision? It was really surprising to me in a really positive way, because this is definitely one of the most unique things I've seen in Eurovision. I wouldn't expect I've seen a track like this. Sure, the track in the chorus goes more into a pop oriented song with its gorgeous clean vocals and those beautiful, gorgeous, majestic synths, and the track also greatly picks up towards the end when the chorus goes a key or two higher, and it just becomes such a beautiful epic experience. But the rest of the instrumental, the screams, the whole bondage aesthetic and clothing, this is something quite unique for Eurovision standards. I was really surprised by this. Now, other than that, the song is incredible. The more I listen to it now with the context of the album, the more I'm just pleased, and I love this song, which is an extended version in this album, but don't expect something that extended. It's just a few seconds more into the beginning, and that's about it. And I found about the release of this album out of nowhere. I was just scrolling and I stumbled upon an Aggrotech release, and then I saw it was these guys that played this unique track in Eurovision, and I definitely wanted to give this album a shot, and I can just say that I am in love with this project. This is a great dark electronic album which has a very nice contrast with both singers, with Matthias being the amazing growls and Clemens being in the more clean and pop style vocals, and both of them work extremely well together with some amazing, great, really punchy and heavy instrumentals, with a very nice sense of Aggrotech, with Futurepop, nothing really that new to the sound or something that hasn't been played before multiple times. But the way they have approached all of the sounds coming together, it makes for an impressive album, and the first half of it is almost perfect. The track Engin Miskunn is absolutely amazing, great introduction, great vocals, great beat to it. Another moment that definitely stands out to me is the track Klámstrákur, beautiful chorus, beautiful vocals, it is a great, heavily punchy track. And then one of the main things I would say that definitely manages to stand out in this album are the features. The features on this thing are absolutely amazing, and it's great that we have so many different underground figures from like lots of other genres that work pretty well with this whole album. You have the fourth track, Klefi, which features a Palestinian pop singer, Bashar Murad, and his inclusion is possibly my favorite thing out of this whole track because it gives an out there, more unique feel, and the way his vocals are processed with all of those like glitchy portions, it makes for an impressive track. Also there is the track Hlauptu featuring the sort of industrial pop group Cyber, which is one of my favorite moments out of the album. I love this track. And as I saw, it was a track that was released back in 2017 by Cyber in one of their projects, but we also have it in this album with a bit of a cleaner and punchier production. There is a change with the beat as the kick definitely sounds far more punchy. And I love this track. I think that Cyber's vocals work amazingly well because it gives me a vibe of like the sort of Aggrotech and industrial vocals you could get from a project of like Psycho Beats or Aeria. And also I love Clement's vocals in the chorus, as weirdly enough they give me a 90s Depeche Mode era feel. There is also the very powerful and amazing track Helvíti, which features Icelandic rapper Svarti Laxness, and his rapping towards this whole thing, his whole aggression, it is very good and it works really well with everything else put together with the beat attached to it. It is a very good song. There are also two quite nice and beautiful interludes that sort of change the mood of the album. It's not just a straight up Aggrotech electropop album. Instead you get two classical pieces, with the first one, Spekavisti Memory Opening 2, featuring a great violin performance from Petur Björnsson, and then you have the track Nuquam Iterum Opening 12, which has some glorious vocal and opera passages. Not two of my favorite moments in the album, they don't manage to really stand out, but it's nice for having a change of pace in this whole project. Towards the second half there were some songs that didn't manage to impress me as much, like the tracks 14R and Ógleði, mainly because they're just more of like standard and typical Futurepop tracks that don't have that much of like a punch to them or something that much memorable, but that's about it. At other moments like Spliga Dance, Vrael and Interludes featuring GDRN, I'm sorry I cannot pronounce any of these names, but Icelandic is not a language I've learned. But as I said, these are three songs that I find quite decent, with some nice moments to them. But this album, even if it's not like the greatest thing conceptually as an entire project, when it hits with some beautiful, lovely moments, with some great vocals from both Matthias and Clemens stealing the show, some impressive features that manage to stand out on their own, and great production, great instrumentals, a great aggressive but also quite powerful and euphoric feel when it needs to. This album has a great balance of sounds. There are some amazing tracks over here, and this lands being one of my favorite projects of this year so far. I really like what Hatari did with their debut, one of the greater projects I found in EBM and dark electronic music so far. I'm going to give Neyslutrans an 8 out of 10. What's your opinion of this album? Like it? Dislike it? Why? And what do you want me to review next time? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.